So let's set it up. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So here's my A, my B, and my C. Let's substitute. We've got 6 squared plus 8 squared equals 9 squared. So let's go to our calculator. I do a lot of like little math mistakes, so I always like to use the calculator, just so I don't make those little math mistakes. All right, so let's go to our calculator. We're gonna do 6 squared plus 8 squared. And what do we get? 100. And then now let's look at 9 squared. And what is 9 squared? 81. Are these equal to each other? So what does that tell us? If Pythagorean theorem doesn't work for it, what do we know about that triangle? Is it a right triangle? No, this triangle is not a right triangle. Question so far? All right, let's try a next one. Now let's look at this one. Notice how there's no right angle. So let's see if this triangle is a right triangle. Which one's my longest side? 13. So what are we going to label that as? C. Perfect. And then this will be my A and my B. So we've got A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Got 11 squared plus 5 squared equals 13 squared. So in our calculators, 11 squared plus 5 squared, and we get 146. And then we do 13 squared. What does that give us? 169. Are they equal? So are these a right triangle? Not a right triangle. All right, we're gonna do one. I honestly thought one of them was gonna be that. We're gonna do 3, 4, and 5. Okay, which one's gonna be my C? 5. This will be my A, this will be my B. So let's do 3 squared plus, sorry guys, I don't know which one my pen, plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. So that's 9 plus 16, that gives us 25. Is 25 equal to 25? Yeah, so what does that mean about that triangle? What does it mean about that triangle if those sides, those are equal? It's a right triangle, so I'm gonna put that little right angle right there. It definitely is a right triangle. All right, go to your pair deck. To be or paired, that gives us 169. And then let's add the two smaller ones, 5 squared plus 12 squared. And what does that give us? 169. Are they equal? Yes. So is this a right triangle? Yes. Okay, let's try the next one. Ooh, that's an ugly picture. Sorry, guys. C is 6. And then A is 3 and B is 4. Remember, looks are deceiving. Or pictures are deceiving. Go on to our next part. Why isn't it? There we go. So for the next part of our lesson, we're going to be using the converse. So if A squared plus B squared is not equal to C squared, what information can we get from that? And we can actually determine if it's a right triangle, an obtuse triangle, or an acute triangle. So it's the same steps, but at the end, we're going to be looking at some extra information. I promise this is super cool. And I have a way you guys can remember it because I know there's a lot of rules. All right, so if we think of obtuse, do you guys think is obtuse bigger or smaller than 90? Bigger, right? Obtuse is big. It's like obtuse. And then we have acute. Acute, is it smaller than 90 or bigger than 90? Acute, what is acute? Smaller or bigger than 90? Smaller. And it's like a cute little angle. Yes, cute little one. So we're going to be looking at C. And how is C squared different from the sum of A and B? Let me give you guys the thing. All right. Let's go ahead and write this down. When you guys write this down, it makes your brain see it 7 times more than you just watching. So please be sure that you're writing notes down because it helps your brain. Studies have shown. All right, so we're going to start with C squared. And we're going to have A squared plus B squared. Now, if C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared, then what does that mean? What kind of triangle is it if it's equal? We just talked about this. It's a right triangle. So this one is straight up right triangle. Now let's look at C squared. And we're going to compare it to A squared plus B squared also. Now if C squared is less than means cute. It's a cute little one. So what kind of triangle do you think we'll have if C squared is smaller than A squared plus B squared? If it's cute, smaller is cute. Cute. So if C squared is smaller than A squared plus B squared, then we have a cute little triangle. And finally, if C squared is greater, bigger than A squared plus B squared, what kind of triangle do you think we're going to have? Obtuse. Huge. Obtuse. So we have, oh, sorry, I should say larger. This is obtuse. So we always want to look at C squared and see how it measures between, what it measures between A squared plus B squared. Any questions so far? All right. So again, for a triangle, we always want to look at our largest side. If we have 3, 7, and 9, what's my largest side? 9. So 9 is going to be my C. So I'm going to write that one down first. We've got 9 squared. And then the other two will be my A and my B. So I have 3 squared plus 7 squared. Let's put them in our calculator. 9 squared is 81. And what is 3 squared plus 7 squared? 58. All right, so here's the big one. Is 81 greater than 59? Is it equal or is it smaller than 59? Greater. So what kind of triangle do we have? Obtuse. Yes. Questions so far? All right, let's look at the next one. Yes. Oh, thank you. It's 58, not 59. Thank you. All right, let's look at the next one. We have 3 sides. Which one's my bigger side? 29. So we're going to start with C being 29. So let's write it down. 29 squared. So the other 2 will be my A and my B. Let's square those. All right, so what's 29 squared? What? 821? 841. And what is 20 squared plus 21 squared? It's also 841. Woo woo. So what does that mean? They're equal, so it is a right triangle. Isn't this super cool? I think it's so fascinating. Now you can actually picture the type of triangle that it is, right? All right, let's do another example. Ooh, our last example, and then we'll do pair deck. Which one is our largest side? 22, that's going to be my C. So we have 22 squared. And then the other 2, ooh, what do you notice about the other 2? They're exactly the same. That's interesting. I wonder what kind of triangle that's going to be. All right, we got 22 squared is 484. And then we've got 17 squared plus 17 squared. And we get 578. Huh. All right. Oops. All right, so then is my C squared smaller than 578 or is it larger than 578? It's smaller. So what kind of triangle do we have? It's a cute because it's so smaller. It's so much smaller. So it's an acute triangle. Awesome. All right, so let's go to pair deck. And let's practice. What am I? Obtuse, right, or acute? All right, go for it. Identify your largest side. Please don't guess, put it in your calculator. Your calculator saves it for you all. Great job, Noah. Good job, Emily. Just type it up. What's your longest side? Right, 15 is our longest side. So if we do 15 squared, what is 15 squared? 225. Now let's look at the sum of the other 2 sides. What are the sides, the lengths of the other 2 sides? We've got 8 squared plus 12 squared. And when we add 12 squared and 8 squared, what do we get?
207.
208, no?
8.
Yeah, 208. So if we have 225, remember you always want to put your C squared first. 225 and 208. Is this larger than 208 or is it smaller than 208? It's larger. So if it's larger, what kind of triangle do we have? Obtuse. Larger is obtuse. So be careful with that. All right, let's try the next one.